So, I think it's a desert flower and it's hedgehog cactus. So, combination of small intestine energy and central energy. So, small intestine energy runs from the fingers up the back of the arms and into behind the shoulders, and central runs the front, but the combination of them, okay, interesting. Let's have a squeeze. So we have to dissolve this one. So it's about self-neglect. So when you read this, think about those times in your life when really you haven't been your best version of yourself. For whatever reason, whether it's internal or external, that's when this is about. But your brain is ready to dissolve it. You know, so it goes through different metamorphoses. It's actually on dissolve, which is a really good thing.
Okay.
So what do I need to do? Do I need to do a chakra? Do I need to do a meridian? A meridian, okay. So do I need the small intestine? Okay, so more the central. Do I need to do a chakra? Do I need to do figure 8 energy? Under the feet, okay. Under the feet. So you're outside a lot with your mowing and you're walking your dog, being in the pool with Aqua. Yeah. Are you ever barefoot?
No, not much at all.
Do you ever just enjoy nature?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, just making sure. Okay. Just talking through something there. We just need to do a little bit of transform as well. Okay, that's cool. I take responsibility for my attitudes and now choose to kindly, gently, lovingly and supportively transform my self-neglect, my lack of empathy with nature or others, my overindulgence, and my isolation from others into all-encompassing love. I make the commitment to kindly, gently, lovingly and supportively enlarge my view of life while increasing my empathy and closeness with others and nature. I take responsibility for my attitudes and now choose to kindly, gently, lovingly and supportively dissolve my self-neglect, my lack of empathy with others, my overindulgence, and my isolation from others into all-encompassing love. I make the commitment to kindly, gently, lovingly, and supportively enlarge my view of life while increasing my empathy and closeness with others. So it's like, even though you have chosen your path forward, it's still linking to a time in your past when you were neglecting yourself. Even though you're a totally different little human being these days, you do have so much self-worth, self-esteem, you know what you can achieve and what you can't achieve, you know what you can get away with too, which I think is part of the naughtiness, and you know that you can get it back on track, because you've got that amazing power of the mind. But 2 years is a long time to have this energy thrust upon us. So, you know, it's getting in there and it's...
That time that I did the 7 days fasting, I think that killed a lot of my enthusiasm.
Yeah,
because I think I tried so hard to do that, and to get back and do, even 40 hours now is just, it's just too hard.
Oh, well, not your time at the moment. You could just do the 16-8. Just do your food in 8 hours or 24, you know? So just sort of choose something else for a while.
Oh, I was so proud of myself when I did that.
Oh, that was amazing. It's not the same thing, but when I was learning my naturopathy 30 years ago, and I had to do a detox, and they had all sorts of detoxes. We just couldn't get stuff. We were living in Cooktown. There was hardly anything available at the time. And I'd go down to the chemist and I'd say, can you get me this or this or this? And they'd say no, no and no. Or you'd have to buy herbs, and you just couldn't get stuff. or I certainly didn't know where to get it from 30 years ago in Cooktown.
Yeah.
And so the best I could do one day, because I was reading that book, which was the reason I became a naturopath, Parvo Erola, How to Get Well.
Okay.
And one of the things in there was talking about a 21-day juice fast. So each day you had one meal with a fruit juice, one meal with a vegetable juice, and then one meal with a broth.
Oh, okay.
And Jay and I, we did it for 3 weeks. It was easy. And I think we were pretty skinny in those days anyway. We're, 30 years younger.
Yeah.
And we were
That's
already
right.
pretty healthy. We hadn't gone overboard at all then.
That's the trouble, once you get into the habit, it's just so hard to break.
Mm. But yeah, well, it did feel good. And then of course, because that's 30 years ago, and he wrote the book like 10, 20 years before that. So now what we know about juice fasting is that if you have too much fruit juice, it really spikes your insulin, it destroys your muscle mass and destroys your bone mass, and it's not good for your liver, it's not good for your cholesterol levels, it's not good for your kidneys. So the veggie juices, unfortunately, are the much, much better way to go because they're not so delicious.
Yeah, that's right.
Fingers outstretched. Oh, still getting there, but no cigar.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's next? So thinking about those little bits and bobs. Stacking in the knees again. Actually, I might run the body system scan on you at the same time. I don't have it in here, so I won't do that.
Okay.
We'll do it afterwards. Because I wouldn't mind seeing which, it'll tell me which ligaments and tendons are really struggling in there.
Okay. Just have to put that weight back on.
It'll happen. If you want it to.
Well, if I want to go to a member, I've got to get it. Let's see that I've got it back on.
Why?
Okay. Well, she was so proud of me.
That's pretty cool. Can you see your mum in your mind's eye?
Yeah, she's been around me a lot lately.
What would she be whispering to you at the moment?
You can do it, Mum.
You can do it.
That's what she said 6 weeks after I was married. He's not the guy that you married, but you'll make the best of it. I did.
2 beautiful kids.
That's right.
3 beautiful grandkids.
Yep.
And hold.
This is from Tiger again.
Yeah. Feels it?
Yeah.
Wakey wakey.
Certainly know how to turn it on.
Hopefully these shenanigans will be over soon. We'll be able to get on with our lives.
With the borders open and stuff like that, they're going to relax it soon.
Yeah, so when I was at Tumbulgum, is it 2 years since I've been over the border? Have I been down there since Melbourne last year? I don't think so.
No.
So, because I know we were planning on going Armidale in July and we booked that months early, and that never happened.
Mm.
But still had to do the pass even though they, say they're not using any of the information from it because there's just too many cases. And still had to wear a mask even though, they keep saying everyone's going to get this. So, of course, I didn't, and I didn't.
So even coming across the border, you had to do the...
Yeah.
Oh. So who did you show?
Oh, I just sat outside. Someone else went and got me a coffee.
Oh, okay.
So they allowed me to stay outside. Because in Australia it's illegal for them to ask for a copy of the mask exemption.
Oh, okay.
And,
yeah, but see, not many people know that.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's against our Biosecurity Act 2015. I was listening to Russell Brand. I love him because he's just so funny, being a comedian and sharing info and he was he's done some great ones on Australia and sort of the laws that we're passing in the background at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's like some of the laws, like the whole Dan thing. Dan can call a pandemic without a single case.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to do that in a couple of states, in America as well.
Okay.
I think there's one yesterday that was a bit bizarre. Yeah, you're not sick, but we want you to go over here, and we want you to stay there, and we can keep you there. Saw all the internment camps in the newspaper this week. Nearly ready out at Toowoomba.
I don't get the newspaper. Yeah, the one. Yeah, I knew Toowoomba was ready.
So it will be interesting to see who they use it for.
Yeah, they don't know who they're going to put in there.
Interesting. Sure, they don't know.
Then you've got the Pinkenbar one coming on. Too.
Yeah, so thinking about how Kami's Christmas got wrecked because of the Rona, even though symptoms were very, very mild. You just, like these tests, about 6 countries have now said that they're not allowed to pass any laws in relation to the pandemic if they use PCR testing.
No, okay.
So 6 countries so far have said PCR testing is inaccurate, shows way too many false positives. I know.
You're positive, but maybe you're not.
Yeah, and now of course with the rat test they're saying, well, you're negative, but maybe you're positive, so maybe you should isolate anyway. Douchebags.
Well, the guy that's on today, he's a close contact, and he said, well, I'm going to stay away because most of yous on today are not vaxxed.
Hold up. Yeah, right. You should have said, bring it on.
So I said I'd open today and close, but I only just got to drive past the and put the alarm on. That's why I was late this morning.
It does still hold a special place for you, the working at that place, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of crap going on there at the moment. Poor one girl. Don't worry, I'm making it work in my favour. That's why she wanted to work on a Monday, And I said, oh, don't you want me to work? Oh, yeah, you can do more admin work. And she's doing bugger all, except upsetting my team. So, it's okay. I've got a meeting tomorrow.
Excellent.
I'm not going to cause a stir though, I don't want to. Because if I walk, they walk. So we've lost 5. Even some backs.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I listened to Michael Yeadon with Rana Fulnick. They spoke on, I don't know, 10th of January or something like that. And Michael was saying, because he was head of respiratory with Pfizer for, I don't know, decades, for a long time. And because they've used PCR tests for a long time in his industry. And he said, well, if someone's asymptomatic, they simply don't have enough viral activity to make someone else sick. So he said there has never been any asymptomatic spread. And because he's been involved in pandemics before and in viral spreads before and viruses around the world, I suppose it must be a fairly interesting industry, to sort of be there, with when stuff's going down. Let's see where this is at. Where's your fights? Hold up for me. Nope, not there yet. Cool. Okay, so where do we need to go? Okay, we need a flower essence. Australian bush flower. Silver Princess.
Just like myself.
Okay, so we'll come back in a sec for Silver Princess.